to the Vortex closed qualifier. I'm Rydro, and I'm gonna be casting with Moses. How are you doing, Moses?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
I'm doing really, really, really good. I'm really excited because I have seen like a lot of names and teams that I actually recognize from other tournaments, and I get to see like Method to Madness to also be playing in this tournament. But I don't think we get to be covering that series because they have actually went to the losing bracket. But we get to be casting um, Damage, Damage Inc. versus Crystal Noctis, and you know I would love to see who's going to be playing in that in those teams because again I really recognize a couple of players that I actually know and they get playing and that actually made me feel even more excited to be casting this. Um, yeah, like it's gonna be like something like a
It's gonna
surprise. Like
be a
you
couple
have
of
no
fun
idea.
games, yeah.
Yeah, you have no idea what you're gonna be expecting, and I don't really want to set really really high expectations. But the first series, like it was actually decent. It was like pretty quick, but I think both teams did very well. But like um, one of them had to be like coming out on top, and I think that was
Yeah,
like
for
all
sure.
right. I just can't wait for my turn to get into the lobbies and just be watching those games.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, like right now I think we're just getting the players to be ready up. But yeah, do you have like any expectations from this series?
I do actually, because fun fact, I used to be in this well, back in 2018 or 2019, it used to be like kind of one of the bigger clans. It's called Skylord. And we would actually play against Damage Inc. every week, and we would actually beat them. But that was like a long time ago when their best players were just reaching GC. So I would love to see how far they've improved and if they can perform on this stage.
Yeah,
So
that I mean that's pretty good. Like you know, Um, I think there's like a player named Ixos, and I actually recognize that name from somewhere. Like, I'm not really sure if I've actually seen him playing though, but I've seen the name somewhere from the competitive Rocket League community. So it's about time to actually see what he's really made of. And I think he's gonna be playing for a team called Noctis. So he's gonna be like joining the orange side right now. And yeah, we also have carries. Yeah, carries and Fabi, they can be playing for Noctis. For damage, I think we're still about to see who can be playing uh,
mhm.
for for those for the other team, which is damage in the blue side. But yeah, I mean, I really
Just
can't
out of
wait
the
to
blue, a
see the
small
game.
prediction: who do you think is gonna win?
Well, I'm expecting Noctis to be winning just because I've seen the name Ixos and I've seen him like involved in like competitive Rocket League. So I'm guessing maybe 3-1. Like I know it's kind of random to guess like that, but yeah, I'm expecting 3-1 for Noctis.
I am gonna go against you here, and I'm gonna say Damage is gonna win 3-2 in the final game.
Interesting. So like so it's like okay, so it's gonna be game five. Are you like expecting any overtime? Because from the first series, it was like really quick. It was like already 3-0, and I heard the casters were saying something about the MMR difference. But from what they have seen, I think nothing went like way too out of hand for like a lot of MMR difference.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's so like the even the other team like lost, but like yeah, I think they still did good enough despite the fact that they're like maybe lower MMR compared to their opponents. But
Yeah,
um,
not everything is around MMR. You know, I mean, if you can play together as a
yeah,
team, you're definitely you can beat a team of three GCs if you're three C3s, but who know how to play with each other. It's
yeah,
also something that comes back a lot in other esports, like for example CS:GO and stuff. You know, you might have a team that like has the best player in the world, as long as you or the best aimer in the world, as long as you cannot play as a team and rotate properly, you know, you're not going to win games.
yeah, that's true. And also, let's not forget that mentality is really important because when you're playing in a tournament, it's not the same as playing a ranked game. So you're gonna have to deal with a lot of nerves, or maybe sometimes you're gonna feel a little bit more stressed about playing because like when you have your game to be on seem like you're gonna have a lot of people watching you, and sometimes like players would have that kind of feeling that they're gonna be judged for making a misplay or something. That could also play a factor, and that could affect how the series gonna be ending up like. And speaking of Frosty, as I was like actually talking about him before, he's actually joining in this lobby. So um, we get to meet again. Me and Frosty, I get to see him here, and he's a really good player. Like from the other teams that I've seen, he's a really talented player. But um, he's not playing with the same players as he used to. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what has changed because it has been a very long time since I've seen him, and he's still playing competitively, and that's always great to see. So I would love to see if there's like gonna be a huge improvement, especially when it comes to how he's gonna be playing with his new team. Or I don't know if he's like it's really new, but yeah, like from what I've seen last time and today, it's definitely gonna be a completely different team for Frosty here.
Yeah, I think the players are about to join their teams, so I think we are about to go for kickoff.
Yeah, not a very welcome for Frosty because I actually picked against him in the predictions, and then like he joined, and I was like, oh, okay, so he's gonna be playing in the blue side, so we'll see how this one's gonna go like.
Yeah. Here we see Ixos trying to get the ball out of defense, but Frosty immediately coming in with that demo. Curry is trying to get the ball out, and there's Fabi following up. He's trying to go for the demo, but Arivella is quick to dodge it. Ball coming towards the goal here, going for the flip reset, doesn't actually get it. Ixos with an amazing reaction. Onko here, getting the pinch towards the corner. Ixos a kind of misread. Arivella gets the ball into the middle. Onko passes it back, and there was almost Arivella with the goal, but Ixos was quick to clear that ball away. We see Fabi kind of struggling in the corner. Onko chasing that ball, but he's Fabi with zero boost. You're trying to get a play done. Frosty clearing that ball towards Arivella, going for the 50 with Exhaust ball coming towards the middle. Frosty with a nice touch, but Exhaust is quick to follow it up. Going to go. Fabi went for the demo there, but it was quickly dodged. Frosty trying to get the ball in front of the goal. Exhaust trying to clear it away, and so we're still at 0-0 with a minute played.
Yeah, we're seeing lots of good chances for both teams, but nothing much of a threat for both of them. So I haven't really seen that much of a crazy shot yet, but really good attempts so far. I think both of them are like not really trying to just bang the ball, but at least have a player to be ready to pick the ball once it's gonna be cleared. And but so far, I think for Noctis, they have been maybe a little bit more defensive compared to damage, but it's still it's still like it's already a close game. Like from both teams, they're having a very similar kind of play style, but a really good demo. I think that's gonna be kind of stopping the offensive pressure for now. But still, they're looking for that clear because the pressure seems to be slowly building up against Noctis at the moment, a center after center, and you never really know until the defense can be breaking down.
Yeah, Damage Inky really trying to get those offensive plays going, but there is Noctis trying to get the ball in front, but here's Onko with a far shot on that, and that's gonna fall into the goal. Onko scores the 1-0, and with 3 minutes on the clock, Damage Inc is up 1 goal.
Yeah, that's a massive clear from Onko, and they kinda forget about their defensive rotation. Like, yeah, it's always great to have the pressure, but when you just like forget about like the third man role and you never really expect to have like such a booming clear and that just happened. Onko just booming it from Danfield straight into the net, and that's already 1 goal lead for them. And you know, really good defense from them because they've been holding on very strongly from the start, and right now they're kind of experiencing the same uh fate as their opponents, and they're having to deal with a lot of pressure, but they're still holding on to that 1 goal lead.
Yeah, Noctis here trying to get back into the game, trying to get that equalizer before it's too late, because once the time pressure comes in, it's gonna get really hard to score that goal. Now here is Craze with the shot, and Onko just not getting there, and it's all squared up with 2 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, that was like maybe not necessarily a quick answer, but that was a really nice passing play from Ixos to Carries. I mean, the placement was like very close to the last defender, but it had the perfect amount of power, so it would go in, and the game is already tied up. So, uh, yeah, it seems like both teams are like maybe they have already tested each other's out, and they're like able to have some kind of an edge to go for such plays, and especially for Team Noctis, like they're having a little bit more of a variety kind of plays, like going for passing plays and maybe even slowing things down just a little bit before they get to have their offensive approach, and also trying to build up pressure against their opponent. Like just keep the ball on the blue side as much as possible until a mistake happens, and then they're gonna be able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, they're really trying to aim to capitalize on the other's
Oh,
mistakes. As Anko here, you see, that ball was looking to go against the backboard, but it somehow creeped its way into the back of the net. Frosty kind of, just not caring about that ball. And then Fabi with the, I don't know if he just couldn't make it or that was a backflip, but it cost him a goal. And Damage Inc. is up now. We can see that Anko actually scoring both goals and having 2 saves. He's kind of being nuts right now. We see him again, ball against the backboard, putting up some good pressure, but Ecos is quick to clear that ball away, still following the play though. Fabi with the shot, and Anko just couldn't get there, and Fabi again equaling things up.
Stars is very slow, and right now it seems like both teams are able to respond back to each other's, and it seems like it's gonna be a little bit of a high-scoring game when it comes to a 3v3 standard. Like when it's like 2-2, that's like already um, a lot of goals when it comes to a 3v3 game. But yeah, like we're seeing better pressure so far from both teams and quick answers like coming in back and forth. And Onko, speaking about his performance, he's really stepping up the defensive plays and also the offensive plays so far. And I think that's always a great thing to have. It's always nice to have a teammate that you could rely on in a lot of situations, and that's going to be a huge relief, especially when you're going under pressure a lot. And Onko with another shot here, but it's going to be saved by carries. That was extremely tight, and the game is still tied up.
Yeah, it seemed like a bit of a miscommunication there. Nobody really going up for that ball. Thank God. Exos yet again coming in with that clutch play. Now a near post shot from Curious, but it's saved by Iravella. Now he clears the ball towards the middle, but Fabi is there, and Curious is there to follow up. But Anko with a good 50 there. Frosty now in a bit of a tough situation. Ball in the corner, 2 people pressuring him. Exos will win that 50. Ball coming in front of the net. Fabi going for the drop, not necessarily getting the best one, and Frosty is there to follow up and clear the ball away. Now trying to get the ball out of their half as it is only 30 seconds left, and they're really getting a lot of pressure on him right now. We see Noctis kind of taking control of these last few minutes of the game, really getting those passes across, getting the demos, putting all the pressure there. But as we say that, Anko clears the ball, but Isos is there to follow up. Arivella gets that touch, and now it's a 2v1 on the offensive end, but Fabi is quick to come back for that clear. And I think we are going to see, not Ray yet, but I think we're going to see a game 1 overtime here as long as nothing crazy happens. That ball was 50 by Ixos. Anko trying to get that across the middle. Frosty keeping it up, But here it finally hits the floor as we go into overtime.
Yeah, having an overtime in the first game in the series, it's definitely a must win for both teams because I think winning a close game, especially like when it's like in the start and it's like the fact that it's an overtime, I think it's gonna be helping out a lot to carry over the momentum in the next game. But again, like both teams are having really good pressure so far. I think both teams are just doing very well, and I think it's anybody's series right now. It's all gonna be coming down to who's gonna have better offense, who's going to be able to outplay the defense of the other team, and who's also going to be consistent because I think both teams are just doing incredibly well at the moment.
Yeah, they're really, really shaping. This is shaping up to be a good series. It's going to be entertaining. The teams really seem equal. That was an amazing save from Iravella there, as now Frosty going up the wall, getting that shot on net, trying to get their boost down. Ixos clears it up, gets a second touch even. Fabi now following up on that ball, trying to get the offensive play rolling again. Iravella with not the bestest touch, a shot on net, but Anko is quick to the ball as he saves it and bangs it out. Now we have Frosty on the ball. It's a 2v1. He's going for the air dribble, not necessarily having the amount of boost he wanted. Anko picking up the ball here, trying to make something happen with this awkward ball. Now 50's Curry's ball's coming out in front of the net. Rivella goes for the fake, but Ixos isn't fake at all. Frosty now banging the ball away. Anko going for that mid boost. Team Damage Inc. is really picking up the boost here as they go for a passing play. Curry's is quick to interrupt though. Goes for a 50, actually puts it underneath him, but Frosty yet again there to follow up. Misses the second touch though. Curry is kind of faked out by that. Fabi would be there to clear. Anko now in possession of the ball. Trying to get it on top of his car. A good flick and a pop. Trying to get that to his teammate, but Frosty is there. Yet again, Anko with the ball towards the middle. Gets popped over him. Fabi in net with a save. Vela here trying to, make this play happen. Try to set up another attack. He's got it to the middle. That's an amazing pass, and that's a good shot, and it's an amazing goal from Anko. What a passing play as Damage Inc. finished that first game in the front seat.
That was a huge play. I mean, seeing kind of like an open net right there, like not really just going for the shot right away, but sending it to his teammates so they could actually have a better shot. Like we have seen a lot of solo plays coming from Damage Inc., but when it comes to what's like having more than a player just being upfield, they have that ability to recognize each other's and like pass the ball and have something done, and that was really impressive from Damage, especially for the first game. And like I said, winning in overtime in the first game, it could be shaping how this series could end up like, because uh, there's like a big chance for the winning team to have some kind of like momentum against like the other team, and that could be also helping out to have more confidence as you get to play in the next games. But that was like a very very close game. Only one goal difference, of course, and uh, yeah, good again, good plays for both teams. But right now, it's gonna be very interesting how Noctis gonna be responding back after losing the overtime in the first game.
Yeah, are they going to be able to bounce back, or will they continue to go down the drain in this second game? We'll find out now as Ixos gets to that immediate demo in the Onko. It's seeming that the pace of this game is going to be a bit quicker than the last one. Curry's trying to get that ball up there again, trying to set up those offensive plays, but Noctis is having none of it. They're trying to clear that ball forwards. They're trying to, Fabi and Ixos trying to get this offensive play going, but they're in trouble right now. They can't. They're kind of scrambling. What are we going to do? Like, are we how do we need to play against Damage Inc. here to actually get it? Because Onko was so big in that first game with those 800 points. They must be keeping an eye on him, trying to get those demos in, not double committing and panicking. As we see almost Fabi actually scoring that first goal. Here we have Frosty clearing this ball out again towards Iravella, who will let it bounce. He gets that pass towards middle. No one there to follow up on it, though. Curry's here with the ball, bumped by Frosty, trying to get this offensive play going. Gets demoed by Curies, and we're seeing a lot of demos this game. Ixo's going for the flip reset, not actually getting it. Trying to follow up with the bump, but misses that as well. Anko with a pass towards the middle. And Iravella's up for that, but good defense by Fabi. Now we see Ixos going for that flippy set again. Actually gets it this time, but there's no teammate to follow up on as Frosty yet again setting up the passing play forwards. Actually trying to get a ball on net there, but Ixos is quick to follow it up. Anko now trying to get that ball towards the middle. Was kind of faking there. Fabi trying to get this ball towards the goal of Damage Inc., but they're solid on defense right now as it's still 0-0 with a minute and 40 seconds played.
For the offensive plays of Noctis, it's like I know it's kind of like having less purpose compared to the first game. Like yeah, this game, like we're also seeing a slow approach, but damaging they're having a lot of space. That is really allowing them to have a lot of passing plays and find each other's once again. Kind of like kind of similar to how they finished that overtime in the previous game, but for the offense of Noctis, it's like kind of slowing down. They're getting the chances, but every chance is like immediately shut down, and we're not seeing the pressure to be building up against Damage Inc. in the defense like how it was in the first game. So it's like they're definitely not in a favorable spot at the moment, especially after losing the overtime. But again, since like the game's like still 0-0, it's very possible for them to be bouncing back. They just need to find each other's a bit more and maybe have better ball control offensively, so they can have better offensive chances.
Yeah, there's yet again, we're already 3 minutes into the game and it's still 0-0. That just shows how careful these teams are on overcommitting, over rotating. They don't want to make that mistake, especially Team Noctis. You don't want to go 2-0 down in a best of three because either you're gonna get swept or you're gonna have to reverse sweep the other team, and that's a hard task to do because once that mentality, that mental lead comes in, that's
Oh, what a
talking
play!
about it. That's a big play from Onko. Getting that demo, getting that goal, getting your opponent a little bit tilted. That's what you love to see in this type of game.
I mean, that's a huge play, especially considering how close the game is. But again, we get to see Onko showing up once a goal is scored for Damage Inc. And I know, like maybe he could be the MVP of the series so far because he's having a lot of big plays and having something maybe a little bit flashy here. I think that is definitely putting the team in a real good spot when it comes to having confidence and uh, high morals at the moment. And um, Noctis, like they have to find a way to respond back as they're down by one with 1 minute and a half remaining. Again, the offense seems to be almost not threatening as it used to be in the first game, but you never really know because yeah, they're having their chances, but they need to do something, and they definitely need to step up right now because time is ticking. And again, Damage Inc. They're having so many chances. And
Oh,
oh, what a read from Onko! He just choked up again. That is ridiculous.
yeah, that's a ridiculous pre-flip. I thought he kind of flipped it there, but he somehow tried. He somehow corrected it. And Curry's, on the edge of the goal. We've all been there. You can't jump off because your car will just do something weird. So you're kind of stuck trying to predict where he's going to shoot. And when you predict wrong, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a goal following it. Frosty beating Fabi here and trying to go for the double, dropping it out of Onko, who almost who's on for his hat trick right now. He's trying to drop it off the backboard. That's an amazing pass, and
Oh,
Iravella. Right now, Damage Inc. is just destroying Noctis on every way possible. Defense, offense, it's nobody. Don't even bother.
yeah, it all came down from that goal from Anka where he just demoed the defender. And I think that's really opened up more offensive plays to be coming from Damage Inc. as they, as they got an edge to go for these kind of flashy plays. Because honestly, when it was like 0-0, they still like had something in them that kept them going for a lot of flashy plays. Like we have seen them, I believe, Onko and Aravella like having those kind of like passing plays and maybe going for kind of redirect. And the fact that they got like one goal lead and then like they got another one, and after that read of the wall, and yeah, I think they're definitely in a real good spot. They're feeling really good. Less than 30 seconds left right now, so I don't think there's much gonna be done for Noctis. But yeah, it's gonna be like in the next game, and yeah, their only choices right now is to get the reverse sweep done.
Yeah, like what do you do when you're Noctis? Do you take a different approach to attacking their goal? Do you take a different approach on how you defend them? Do you go for more physical play, more demos, or do you just do what you did in game one and see, or do what you did this game and just see if you can maybe get a quick goal in and then play defensive? What do you do when you're Noctis? Damage Inc. is just taking the league, taking the they're taking a series, and I mean, Noctis isn't just driving and standing there looking at it, not being able to really get a goal in or get that offensive play made, always capitalizing on. I mean, Slipstream always Slipstream, Damage Inc. always capitalizing on those defensive mistakes and really just punishing them for whatever they do wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like I think for Noctis, they really need to tighten up their positioning a little bit because again, they're allowing Damage Inc. to have a lot of space, and once they have the space, they go for these kind of ridiculous plays where they go for lots of passes, and they are really good at using the walls and the ceilings in their own advantage, and especially in a series that is very close. Like yeah, it's like 2-0 right now for Damage Inc., but it's very close. I think Noctis, they're putting really good pressure against Damage Inc., but like offensively, it's like Damage Inc. They're doing way much better. Noctis, like yeah, they just need to be taking up their positioning and try to um, give less space for their opponents. And I think they just need to find a way to keep up with all of that rotation because we're seeing a lot of booming clears also coming in left and right. So there could be also a couple of adjustments that have to be made during the rotation and also the positioning. But it has to be right now or never for Noctis. Right now it's like 0-0. I think you just try to be more consistent at what you're doing right now and make
Mhm.
sure not to concede another one because that's gonna be hurting out a lot.
Yeah, it's looking like from what I'm seeing, it's looking like the Damage Inc. team has also been together as a team for a little bit longer than the Noctis team because they're just playing off of each other so well. You know when someone's going for the ball, when someone's picking up a boost pad. They're all playing around each other, just like right there. That's the column on the backboard. Okay, no problem. I know you got it. It just seems like they're playing together better instead of the Noctis team where everyone is just trying to do their thing. And that's an amazing shot from Arivella. And that's the 1-0 for Damage Inc. again. And now it's getting ropey for Noctis because what do you do when you're them right now?
I mean, it's definitely tough right now, but I believe there's still enough time remaining for them to bounce back. One goal is kind of nothing, so they could still manage to bounce back as long as they can be really consistent in their defense. But again, Damage Inc. They got the space and they went for another passing play, and that shot was like really threatening. It was already on net right away, so it kind of gave almost no time for Noctis to get in the defensive goal line and just get the clear or maybe get the block. But we finally get to see somebody scoring first from Damage Inc., and that isn't Onko, but
Ooh.
he nearly got a shot here. Speaking of Onko, but again, we're seeing a lot of nice passing plays, and Damage Inc., I think they're playing as a team like in the best way possible for them. They're just finding each other's in the passes almost every time they get to have the ball, and you definitely love to see those passing plays.
Yeah, they're really quick on that and towards each other. You know, there's always somebody waiting or ready for that pass. Seldom you'll see someone not being able to capitalize on one of those, at least get a shot off. They're really, they're really putting Noctis under pressure here. You know, they're getting those long clears. They're wasting a lot of time just keeping the ball in the midfield. They're trying to, you should ultimately try to go for that second and even that third goal, because a one goal lead, as you said, is not really anything to rely on. It could be gone in 2 seconds. So as we see here, we see Aravella clearing that ball up as Ixos tries to pick it up. Nice fake, nice solo play here. Goes for another fake, and it almost worked. That would have been a nasty play. Curry's trying to get the ball across the goal here, faking it. Fabi goes for that 50. Aravella is there, though. Here we see Ixos going for the ceiling shot, getting it towards the net. Onko missing the ball, and here is Curry's scoring that 1-1, keeping Noctis alive. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen next, because, I mean, they're going to have to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, their last offensive plays, they looked really good. Like Ixos, like that fake he got, like getting past two players, and he nearly faked the entire team, even though that didn't really work. But they were still able to offer something else, and it seems like they're kind of waking up right now. They're having really good offensive plays, and I think they're kind of in a position where, yeah, let's just go and play. Like, let's have our chances, let's have our shots. If it works, it works, and if it doesn't, well, it doesn't. But yeah, it is kind of like confidence kind of play style. It's already working for them. So, but let's see what's gonna be holding next for us, because we got like 1 minute and a couple of seconds left. It's still could go either way around right now, especially after that equalizer coming from Noctis, which I believe it's probably gonna be putting them in a really good spot at the moment.
Yeah, what I'm seeing a lot right now from Team Noctis is those solo plays as Onko here. Yet again, just pouring salt into the wound of Noctis. Just putting that ball and just getting the morales down, because now they have to chase that deficit again. They're gonna be the one, like Team Noctis is gonna be the ones that are gonna have to come with the offensive plays. And I think Damage Inc. is all too happy to say, come on, let's have it, let it come at me. I'll see what I can do. And I also like Noctis going for a lot of individual plays, and Onko yet again putting that ball in. That's a little defensive mistake there, and Onko is quick to capitalize on as he makes it 3-1. And surely this is looking like shaping up to be an impossible task for Noctis.
And yeah, and I think it all just came down after Damage Inc. They went on the lead right back, and I think that again kind of hurt the mentality, especially with 1 minute left on the clock. It just kind of let them think like, okay, that's a quick punishment coming from Frosty right now. As they keep on going goal after goal right now, it's 4-1. Like, what else could be done right now for Noctis? I don't think there's like anything could be done besides just try to not to concede another one right now, unless like a miracle happens. But realistically, that's not gonna happen. Like where they can have like maybe three kickoff goals in a row, especially in 3v3, you don't get to see that happen. But um, yeah, like after going back in the lead for Damage Inc., I think that hurt them once again, and it's already showing.
Yeah, I mean, as Team Noctis right now, going into further games, I feel like they just need to practice more as a team, because a lot of individual offensive plays were being made, but not as a team as a whole. Maybe play around with who plays in what position and who goes for what. And I think someone's controller just unplugged, maybe, because someone was. I think it was Fabi, or no, it was Isos just standing still there in front of the net. It was kind of weird. Onko, picking up that hat trick. And I think it's safe to say that it's definitely done now. And all I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and for myself, I'm gonna call out Onko as the MVP of this series. He's been everywhere for for Damage Inc. He's been everywhere every single minute of the game. He's been in the defense. He's been making saves. He's been making passes. He's scored so much goals the past 3 games, and
Yeah, I
that's the
mean,
GG.
yeah, definitely a GG. I mean, Onko did incredibly well. Um, Yeah, he was like basically everywhere. In every situation, you would expect somebody to show up, and it's always Anko. Like um, in like 2 games in a row, he was like the first to score, and that like it's always a great thing to be able to score first. Not only it's gonna relieve the pressure, but also it's gonna be opening a lot of great things up ahead. And I think that was like the exact situation for Damage Inc. And you know yeah, that was like incredible performance from the entire team, like Damage Inc., not just Unko, but he definitely deserves more respect as he did a lot of amazing work here. Um, but it seems like both of us were wrong in the predictions here. But yeah, I mean, I was like expecting 3-1, but we didn't really get any of that, and we also didn't have any game five. But that was like still an incredible series. Again, both of them did very well, but I think it was like really tough for Noctis to be bouncing back, especially after the overtime loss in the first game. But yeah, GG's and well played.
Yeah, I feel like we just saw Damage Inc. really showing their ultimate form. They really played well. They just completely tore apart Team Noctis, especially Anko there, just coming in every single play. He was there. Either he was the passer or he was the shooter. And in defense, he was always there, just that last man, ready to make that save. Never making any major mistakes, anyways. And Team Noctis really just trying to get past them as a team didn't really go the way they thought it would. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, it's an incredible game, but of course we're gonna have more games, and I believe it's gonna be after the short break. And yeah, we'll see you guys
Yeah,
after the
it was
short
a
break.
pleasure
And
casting.
yeah,
Bye,
thank you. Thank
guys.
you also for joining me. It was a lot of fun to be casting with you. And yeah, we're gonna go in a small break, and we're gonna be preparing the next series.